Grinding money in Grand Theft Auto Online, especially as a solo player, obviously comes with some downsides. The biggest downside is that you don't have anybody else to help you out, and it can take a lot more time. But in today's video, I'm going to be going over 5 vehicles that will make grinding in GTA much easier for you. Whether you are trying to blow things up, survive a hail of bullets, or just be incredibly fast from point A to point B. Today's video should obviously help out with all of these situations. And starting off in the number 5 position, we have one of the most basic vehicles in the game, the Armored Kuma. I literally have my hands off my remote right now. That's how confident I am. I've actually taken 0 damage so far. The Armored Kuma is $525,000, and even if you don't get the trade price, it's still incredibly cheap. It's so good because of the fact every single window, every single surface on this vehicle is completely bulletproof. And not only that, but you can also shoot out of the Armored Kuma, meaning that if you are doing any missions whatsoever, this is basically the best choice in the game. And the best part is you're also not limited on where you can shoot. As you can see, the only spot you can't shoot is over the rear of the car, but everywhere else, from the sides all the way around, you can completely shoot, which is so nice. So when you are trying to complete missions, the Armored Kuma, sure, it doesn't have missiles, it doesn't have any ridiculous type of weaponry, and it's not incredibly fast, nor does it feature the best handling. I know that there are supercars that are way faster than the Kuma, but at the end of the day, even Amani Tech vehicles do not feature this level of protection. I have still taken 0 damage. I've lost a teeny bit of body armor. I've cleared every single guard in this entire area. I mean, that's crazy. So definitely the Armored Kuma makes it into the number 5 position for the best grinding vehicle in the game. It's just absolutely incredible. In the number 4 position, we arrive to one of the best purchases that any player can make that is planning to do missions in the game. And that is the Vigilante. I have talked about the Vigilante a lot on the channel and why it's so good. First of all, it's the fastest supercar in the game, and that's really good. It has a rocket boost, it has surprisingly good handling, and it's just incredible due to the level of speed it features. I mean, it's kind of insane. Also, do these gates open? Oh, I'm actually surprised they do. But obviously the rocket boost itself is really nice. But it gets better. See, the Vigilante has missiles. Homing missiles, and we can see them activate if we drive towards the same mission that we did in the Armored Kuma. And it's gonna make doing this mission so much easier, because instead of actually having to painstakingly shoot each person one at a time, I just press the missile button, and just like this, I completely obliterate every single threat that exists. I mean, it's just so stupid. The missiles are insanely accurate. You have plenty of them to last an entire mission, as we can see. And, I mean, yeah, what else do you need? This is the only vehicle in the game that has homing missiles that you can use in missions. And, I mean, you can see just why these missiles are so broken. We completed this entire mission, what, 3-4 times faster than we were able to do it with the Armored Kuma there. I mean, it's night and day on how much faster we were able to complete this mission. So, if you plan on doing any heists, if you plan on doing any missions whatsoever, especially as a solo player, the Vigilante is just the way to go. And, I mean, you can literally see why. There's just no vehicles that really come close to the Vigilante's capabilities. And if you were worried that I was going to somehow blow up the Titan and cause it to not work because of the missiles, nope, it's not the case. We're in the air, and we've completed the mission. So, yeah, the Vigilante's insane. I especially like using it for the Dr. Dre setups, because every third mission for the Dr. Dre actually involves you going into a special type of mission where you cannot call all weaponized vehicles like the Sparrow. And in fact, we can see that right here. If I go to service vehicles, I cannot call out my Sparrow. I cannot use certain weaponized vehicles like my Vapid Speedo Custom or my Ruiner 2000 in these missions. You can only use the Sparrow. It's the only weaponized vehicle that has missiles. So it's kind of crazy because of that. Or not the Sparrow, sorry, the Vigilante. It's expensive, but personally, I 100% believe that it's worth the price. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Now we're going to break into vehicles that are available to use in public sessions. There's 3 of them, and each one of them is good in their own category, which we'll be breaking into. In the number 3 position, we arrive to the Vapid Speedo Custom, which in my opinion is not only a crazy good weaponized vehicle, incredibly well armored, but also one of the most dangerous weapons in the game. It's just such a good combination. A lot of people always say, why would I get this when the weaponized Tampa exists with more weapons? Well, pretty simple. First of all, the weaponized Tampa is much more expensive, requires you to get bunker research to fully equip. And when you add all of that with the fact that, well, the Vapid Speedo Custom has completely bulletproof metal plates all over the front, making it much harder to actually shoot through, and the glass on the Speedo Custom is also semi-bulletproof, I just don't really see a reason why you would want any other vehicle. So we're going to come down here and cause some absolute chaos on this mission that we have to take out Hitman. And you're going to see just why the Speedo Custom weapon is insane. I mean, look at the damage output that this thing has. It's absolutely incredible. We clear every single guard with literally no trouble. There you go. Everything's dead. I mean, it's so good to be able to use the Speedo Custom, clear all the trouble around you, and then just move on with your day. This minigun is the same damage as the weaponized Tampa, even though there's only one mounted on the roof. It does the exact same. And, I mean, there's not much really else to say. It's a remote control minigun that you as a single driver are able to control. You're in a fairly armored vehicle. No, it cannot survive any explosions, but just the fact that it's able to have such good bulletproof protection, paired with the fact you can call it in whenever you want simply by going to the interaction menu and pressing request personal Vapid Speedo Custom, it just makes life so easy. So I personally think the Vapid Speedo Custom is just an incredible choice, and it's part of the nightclub for free, so it barely even costs any money. Oh yeah, one other thing I should mention is that the Speedo Custom does have proximity mines that you can drop, and these proximity mines will deal a lot of damage, so that's another great thing about the Speedo. In the number 2 position, we arrive to one of my favorite vehicles available in Grand Theft Auto, which is the Toror. This is just one of the most fun vehicles to mess around with in the game. Why? Well, first of all, it has homing missiles, and unlimited homing missiles. It's very rare for weaponized vehicles to feature unlimited homing missiles. In fact, I think this is the only one, if I'm not mistaken, apart from airplanes and helicopters. So that alone is pretty nice. And by the way, you can spam these homing missiles as well. They are just able to be spammed over and over and over. And I do got to be a little careful because if you obviously hit them too close, as you saw already, you might blow yourself up. I've caused my Toror to start smoking just from doing that. But the Toror can survive quite a beating. It can actually survive upwards of around 5 to 6 homing missiles. It's just that I've been dealing with the cops for quite some time now, and that's why I'm already smoking. But yeah, the Toror can survive an absolute beating. It has missiles which are super dangerous and will literally delete everything in front of you. So if you're ever in a public session and somebody tries to kill you, well, good luck, because they're not going to get very far. But my favorite part about the Toror is also the fact that, weirdly enough, the machine gun that it has does the same damage as a minigun. And you can see that right here. I mean, look, we got a full health armored vehicle and, or not armored, but full health riot van, and it's just gone. The machine gun on this is insane. I wonder if we can blow up an armored vehicle like this in front of me before we die. And, okay, no, maybe not. But that's fine, we'll just go back to our homing missiles and a rocket boost away before we end up dying. So, yeah, you can start to understand why this vehicle is so incredible. It is expensive, but personally, I think that all these capabilities are great. Now, I should mention, it does have a submersible mode, which we can see here, but personally, I just don't really see a reason why you would use submersible mode. I don't think I've really ever, in the years of owning this vehicle, literally once gone into the water and actually used the submersible capabilities. But I guess it's kind of cool that it does have them. Either way, the vehicle is incredible to mess around with, however, it seems the Rhino tank would like to disagree. And that brings us to the final choice for today's video. What is going to make the number 1 position? Well, it's pretty simple. Service vehicles, Kosatka, and I'm going to call in my Sparrow. The Sparrow is the single-handedly best purchase you can make in Grand Theft Auto Online. First of all, to get your hands on a Sparrow, you need to own a Kosatka. But that's fine, because purchasing the Kosatka is an incredibly smart decision, because you can start up the Cayo Perico heist. And if you haven't done it, it's literally the best way of making money in the game. So, really, the Kosatka is just an added benefit. The Sparrow is, first of all, incredibly easy to call in. You saw. I mean, just call it in wherever you are. It instantly spawns in, faster than even personal cars you own. That alone already makes the Sparrow like A tier. But it gets better. Sparrow features flares, and spammable flares that you can literally shoot every 3 seconds, making it nearly impossible to take out of the sky, even if you are using something that's like an oppressor. You have homing missiles, unlimited homing missiles, and spammable homing missiles. You can just hold the fire button and keep shooting them over and over and over. This makes life incredibly easy. Earlier today, I was streaming doing agency missions, and I was able to literally complete multiple gang attack missions in 2 minutes, just spamming homing missiles everywhere, killing all the captains and leaving. It's just so easy. Oh, and the final part about the Sparrow, which is my favorite, is the fact that it flies at 170 miles per hour, making it the fastest flying helicopter in the game, even faster than the weaponized Kanata, which is incredibly impressive. You can see the Sparrow flying here. It's quick. It absolutely strips the Oppressor Mark II. I remember the other day, one of my friends was helping me do a video on racing, and he pulled out his Oppressor, and I literally beat him to the destination we were going to by like 30 seconds with the Sparrow, because it's so much faster. Yes, does the Oppressor Mark II have some advantages? Sure, it does. The Oppressor is slightly more maneuverable, and it's a smaller target, making it harder to hit. But when doing missions, having the unlimited homing missiles and being able to use flares is just incredibly nice. Being able to call this in wherever you are instantly is so useful, and it doesn't even take up a personal vehicle. So I can literally launch out of my Sparrow whenever I want, call out a personal car on the ground, and it will keep my Sparrow wherever I am. Oh, and the best part about the Sparrow is when it gets blown up, it is automatically returned to your Kosatka, and in 2 minutes you can call it in once again. So you can see that right here. We're going to blow it up. Oh, it actually takes a decent beating. So if we blow up our Sparrow, we go to Service Vehicles Kosatka. Just have to wait a minute and 50 seconds and we can get it all once again. So personally, I believe that the Sparrow is literally the best choice in the game. There's a lot of people that will say the Buzzard's really good, and don't get me wrong, the Buzzard miniguns are great and all, but it doesn't fly nearly as fast as the Sparrow. And in the latest update of the game, Rockstar buffed the Sparrow's armor. You can now fly a Sparrow basically full speed into a building and it won't blow up, and that's incredibly nice, especially when you're doing things like this and you're landing your aircraft really hard on the ground, because previously landing the Sparrow hard would cause it to start smoking, but that's not the case anymore. When you add all these things together, plus the fact that it's inside your Kosatka, meaning when you do setups for the Cayo Perico heist, it's so quick to just get out, do the mission, and come back. I cannot say anything I dislike about the Sparrow. It is just such a good purchase. So let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. As always, if you enjoyed today's video, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below. Join the Discord for daily uploads and information. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.